Good morning all. Dear students, due to corona effects we are not able to conduct regular classes. So, with you of students, our principal, management and staff decided to make online classes and also the downloaded videos. Our lecturers make videos and about the concepts and download through the YouTube. Again, you can go through the YouTube and read and learn the concepts. Let me see. In second year economics, microeconomic part, I told you that in the previous classes, the microeconomic part, consumption and production are very important concepts. See, for consumption, we use goods and services to satisfy our wants. That means the goods and services has a power to satisfy human wants. Then a question arises: how the goods and services are possessibility? That means how the goods and services are available to us. Then we go to the production process. See, the production means what? Production is simply we can say production is conversion of input into output. Input into output. Or in other words, we can also say the production means conversion of raw materials into the finishing goods. Raw materials into the finishing goods. But in economics, it has different meaning. See, the production means what? The production means creation of utility in a commodity is called production. So, then the first one, production. See, then what are the factors? What are the important things using in the production? That means the production, I already told, the production explains the relationship between input and output. Input and output. So, at what quantity of inputs are using to produce a given output? That will be called production. Then come to the second, production function. What is function? See, function implies functional relationship. Functional relationship. Functional relationship between input and output. That means the quantity of input and the output. That will be studied through the production function. See, the production function explains the functional relationship between input and output. Input and output. Then, how can we express this? How can we express the production function? The production function can be explained through the mathematical equation, that is Q is equal to F into R L K O. R L K O. See, Q means output, quantity of output. F stands for functional relationship. R L K O. See, R L K O represents different factors of production using in the production process. See, in the previous classes, that means in the first year economics, you already studied, there are mainly 4 factors of production. There are mainly 4 factors. They are land, labor, capital and organization. Land, labor, capital and organization. Here also, R stands for land, L stands for labor, K stands for capital and O stands for organization. O stands for organization. Observe this equation. In the equation, quantity of output is dependent variable. Observe here, dependent variable, and the RLKO, that means land, labor, capital and organizations are independent variables. Land, labor, capital and organizations are independent variable. That means the value of quantity, that is output, is determined by the quantity or value of independent variable, that is factors of production. They are also called factors. These 4 are called independent variables. Okay, independent variables. So they are called factors of production. Then come to the next concept, that is analysis. The production function analysis. See, the production function has 2 types. The production function has two types. One is short-run production function and long-run production function. Short-run production function and another one is long-run production function. Then a question arises, how can we classify this? How can we classify the production function into short-run and long-run? How can we classify production function into short-run and long-run? Then a question arises. See, for this question, we can get an answer that is, see, the factors, among the factors of production, we can classify it into fixed factors, fixed factors and variable factors. Variable factors. Okay. Fixed factors and variable factors. See, which factor is considered as a fixed factor? Land, machineries, superior workers, then are called fixed factors. That is building, also called fixed factor, because they are not increase or decrease according to the output. According to the output. Then another one is variable factor. Which one is called variable factors? Variable factors are, for example, worker, that is laborer, then raw materials, then transportation, water, electricity, they are considered as variable factors. See, on the basis of fixed factors and variable factors, we can classify into short run and long run. Short run and long run. Consider first short run. In the short run, the firm will keep concept of fixed factors and change or increase variable factors to increase the output. Variable factors to increase the output. That means the firm only changes one factor by keep concept of other factors. That situation is called short run, or that period is called short run. For example, they keep building, machinery or factory constant and only changes raw materials, then transportation, electricity, etc. to increase the output. That is called short run. In the long run, the firm will change all its input to increase the output. That means there is no difference between fixed factor and variable factor, because all factors are variable factors. All factors are variable factors. So that period is called long run. That period is called long run. Then, in the short run, we can see the law of variable proportion. That means the law of variable proportion operates in the short run, whereas the law of returns to scale operates in the long run. The law of returns to scale operates in the long run. Then come to the one of the important theory, that is the law of variable proportion. See, the law of variable proportion. I told the law of variable proportion operates in the short run. See, when the firm increase the variable input by keep constant of fixed input, the output changes. During the short run. That law is called the law of variable proportion. It means the law of variable proportion explain the relationship between variable input by keep constant of fixed input and the output. Explain the relationship between variable input, that is changing variable input by keep constant of fixed input, and the output. That will be studied under the law of variable proportion. Then, the law of variable proportion, I already told, the law of variable proportion operates in the short run, where we can see the fixed factor and variable factor. Fixed factors and variable factors. That is, the total inputs are divided into fixed inputs and variable inputs. Then, the law of variable proportion has depends on or follows some assumptions. It also follows some assumptions. Come to the assumptions. What are the assumptions? What are the assumptions of this law? See, the first assumption. See, the first assumption is the firm only increase or only changes one factor and remain factors are fixed. Only one variable factor and other factors are fixed factor. That means it only increase one factor and other factors of productions are remain constant. Then second point is, see, the units of all units of variable factors are homogeneous. That means same kind of nature, which has same kind of nature. There will be no difference. There will be no difference in color, size, and taste. Color, size, and taste. Or in case of variable input. Then third point is there will be no change in technology. There is no change in technology, because when the technology changes with the same factors of production, with the same units of factors of production, the output may increases. That's why we assume that there will be no changes in production technique. Then fourth factor is, the units of variable factors. The units of variable factors can be determined in different units. Can be determined in different combinations. Then fifth point. The fifth point is the factors of productions. That is, the units of factors of productions are measured through physical quantity. That is visible. Physical quantity. Because it can be easily calculated. That's why we are assuming that the units of variable factors or units of factors of production can be expressed through the physical quantity, which can be easily measurable. These are the assumptions. Once again, I will explain the assumptions. Say the first assumption is, we assume that there is only one variable factor and remaining factors are constant. Then second point is, all units of variable factors are homogeneous. Then third point is, there is no changes in production technique. And the fourth point is, the units of variable factors can be used in different combinations. And fifth factor is, they can be units of factors of productions are expressed through the physical quantity. Then this law can be studied. The law of variable proportion can be studied with the help of a schedule. I will show the schedule. So I told you that. So one factor is constant, that is land. We assume that units of land. Okay. Then units of labor. Then another column is total product. Average product and marginal product. Total product, average product, marginal product. Before we start this, we have to know product, what do you mean by average product, and what do you mean by marginal product? Then how can we calculate this? First, total product. What do you mean by total product? See, the total product means the total units of total output or total units of output which is produced with a given units of factors of production, or by using a given units of factors of production. They call total product. They call total product. Then how can we calculate this? I can use a formula here. I write the formula here. See, short form is the total product can be written as TP. TP is equal to sigma MP. Sigma symbol explain the sum of MP. MP means marginal product. The total product can be determined by adding up of marginal product of different units. Marginal product of different units. Then another one is second part is average product. See, what is average product? Average means we use the term average to find out per unit. Average product. So average product means the output per unit of variable input. That is output per unit of variable factors of production. Then how can we calculate this? The average product can be calculated by using a formula, that is AP is equal to TP divided by Q. TP divided by Q. AP is equal to TP divided by Q. AP means average product is equal to total product divided by Q. Q implies quantity of variable inputs. I can write here units of variable factor. Units of variable factor. See, the average product can be calculated by dividing the total product from units of variable factor. Units of variable factor. Then third one is marginal product. We can write here the marginal product. Marginal. That is short form we call MP. So what is marginal? Simply understand, marginal means additional. Marginal means what? Additional. See, additional product. That is, how can we get additional product? By employing additional unit of variable factor. By employing additional unit of variable factor, we get additional output. That is called marginal product. Simply we can say the marginal product is, or marginal product means the additional output derived from the use of additional variable input. That is called marginal product. Then how can we calculate this? See, marginal product is equal to TPN minus TPN minus 1. TPN minus TPN minus 1. That means the marginal product can be calculated by subtracting the total product of previous unit from the total product of present unit. See, TPN means the total product of present unit, and TPN minus 1 total product of previous unit. Total product of previous. Then this is the meaning of total product, total product and total product. See, these formulas are helpful to prepare the schedule. Okay, just assume that while in the preparation of schedule, we have to keep constant of land, that is fixed factor, and units of labor, that will be variable factor. That means land is constant, but the variable factor may increase. Observe here, we select 6 units. Okay, 7 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then units of labor, that is variable factor, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, while preparing this, we have to start from the marginal product. Okay, it is very easy to calculate. Sometimes the students make a mistake that they will write the total product, then all product, then marginal product. But I suggest you, I give some hints that we have to write first the marginal product, then total product, finally order. Okay, so first, in the first unit of land is 1 unit, labor is 1 unit, the marginal product is 6 units. The total product is also 6. Okay, then in the second, when we keep constant of land and increase the units of labor, the marginal product increase to 8 units. Marginal product increase to 8 units. The total product up to 2 units. Up to 2 units is 6 plus 8. 6 plus 8, 14. 6 plus 8, 14. Then again, when they employ more units of labor, it will output increase to marginal product increase to 10 units. 6 plus 8 plus 10, that is 14 plus 10, 24. Then after this, what happened? The marginal product start to decrease. See, in the fourth unit, when they increase the labor units to 4, then the marginal product increase to 6. Marginal product increase to 6. That is the 24 plus 6, 30. 24 plus 6, 30. Then again a firm increase the variable factor by keep constant of land, that is fixed factor. Again the marginal product start to decrease. It decrease to 3 units. 3 units. 30 plus 3, 30. In the fifth unit of labor, the marginal product decrease to 3, but the total product increase to 33. Then when the employee 6 unit, the marginal product becomes 0. Marginal product becomes 0. Then the total product 33 plus 0 plus 0, 33. That is maximum. Observe here, in the 6th unit, of labor, the total product is maximum. Then if the employee, again, if a firm employ more units of labor, that is ratio 7, the marginal product become negative. So it may become negative. So 33 minus 2, that is 31. 31. Okay. Then observe here. So that is total product, marginal product. Then we have to calculate our formula. So TP divided by Q, variable factor. 6 divided by 1, 6. 14 divided by 2, 7. 24 divided by 3, 8. So here also it increases. Observe here, when marginal product increases, average product also increases. Okay. When the average marginal product starts to decrease, the average product also starts to decrease. Observe here. 30 divided by 4. 30 divided by 4, that is 7.5. Observe here, it decreases. Again, 33 divided by 5, that is 6.6. So it implies that when the marginal product starts to decrease, the total product is also, the marginal product starts to decrease, the average product is also start to decrease. Then 33 divided by 6, 6 unit. 33 same value divided by 6, that is 5.5. 5.5. Then last 31 divided by 4 is 4.4. That is 4.4. Okay. Observe here. On the basis of this schedule, we can find out the stages of production. Observe here, stages of production. Okay. Observe here, stages of production. See, when the units of fixed factor is constant and units of labor, that is variable factor, increases, the marginal product start to increase. marginal products start to increase. This stage is known as increasing returns. Increasing returns. Okay, this stage is known as increasing returns. Okay. Again, as they employ more and more variable inputs, the marginal products start to decrease. Marginal products start to decrease up to when it becomes zero. Up to when it becomes zero. This stage is known as diminishing returns. Then lost. Again, as they employ more and more inputs, the marginal product become negative. So this stage is known as not only marginal product negative, the total product is also start to decrease. That is called negative returns. Negative returns. Okay. This stage is called negative returns. Okay. Returns, what it implies? Returns means output. Returns means output. Increasing returns means, I will tell you the three stages, explain the three stages. Increasing returns, diminishing returns, negative returns. Observe here, returns means here output. Returns means here what? Output. Increasing returns, that means the output increases at increasing rate than the rate of increasing variable factors when they keep constant of fixed factor. Okay, that is variable, the output increases at greater rate than the rate of increasing variable factor. That stage is known as increasing returns. Then diminishing returns, the second stage. What happened in the second stage? The output increases at diminishing rate. At diminishing rate than the rate of increasing variable factors when they keep constant of fixed factor. The output increases at decreasing rate, that is diminishing rate or decreasing rate than the rate of increasing variable factors. Then third step, negative returns. Negative means what? No output. Negative means what? No output. You can say decreasing output. Output may decrease. See, as they employ more and more inputs, the marginal product become negative. That means the output become negative. This is the schedule explanation. When we present through the diagram, we can get the three curves, that is total product, order product and marginal product through the three stages of production. Okay, observe here. I am drawing the diagram. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is output, that is production, stages of production, stages of production, this is product. Okay, so I will drawing the curves, three curves, total product, order product and marginal product curves. See, observe here, this is the marginal product. It increases up to maximum, thereafter it starts to decrease and become negative. Then I am drawing the oral product. See, oral product is also increases as the marginal product increases. Then when the marginal product starts to decrease, oral product starts to decrease, and keep in your mind that the marginal product may become negative, but the average product not become negative, it may continue to decrease. It may continue to decrease. Then come to the next stage, that is total product. See, the total product increases increasing rate up to point G. Okay. Then after that it increases at diminishing rate, up to point H. Up to point thereafter it start to decrease. Okay. So this is diagram. Observe here. This is stages of production. This is first stage. This is second stage, and this is third stage. Okay. I will explain the three stages. First stage, second stage, third stage. Okay. In the first stage, what happened? The total product curve increases. Margin product curve is also increases, and outer product curve is also increases. Both, all the three curves are increases. And where up to the point G, the total product curve increases. Then marginal product curve also increases up to maximum. There also start to decrease. Outer product curve is also increases as the marginal product curve increases, but it lies below the marginal product. Outer product is also increases, but it lies below the marginal product. Then comes the second stage. What happened in the second stage? The total product curve continued to increase, but at the diminishing rate. It continued to increase at diminishing rate. That is a decreasing rate. And come to the outer product and marginal product curve. See, the both outer product and marginal product curves start to decrease here. The outer product and marginal product curve starts to decrease here. Observe here. The outer product curve is also decreases when the marginal product curve decreases, but it lies above the marginal product curve. It lies above the marginal product. And I will point out 2 points here. See, the second stage will ends. Second stage will ends when the marginal product is 0. When the marginal product is this point, it is 0, and the total product curve is maximum. The total product is maximum. See, the second stage will ends when the marginal product is 0 and total product curve is maximum. And come to the third stage. In the third stage, observe here, after the maximum, the total product curve start to decrease. After the maximum point, the total product curve start to decrease. The marginal product, after it becomes 0, the marginal product continue in negative form. The marginal product curve continue in negative form. But the outer product curve, what happened in outer product curve? See, the outer product curve continue to decrease. They continue to decrease. This is the diagram presentation or diagram representation. Then I have finally tell you the conclusion here. Conclusion. See, what is the main conclusion here? In which stage the form intended to produce. The form intended to produce. See, either the form intended to produce in third stage? No, because the marginal product is 0. The form will not produce in third stage. When? Did the form decide to produce in first stage? Here also the form will not produce in the first stage because the marginal product